when someone lies to you, what's your reaction? Do you feel outraged and a big sense of injustice that someone has dared to lie to you? Or do you feel hurt that someone has betrayed you, that they haven't been honest with you? Now, I'm talking about where the lying dynamic is co-created today. Obviously, there are situations where one party has nothing to do with the lying of the other party. But from my work and in my experience, the majority of relationships where lying habitually goes on, it is co-created. And by co-created, I mean that both sides have something to do with this. So, for example, if you have a child with PDA, then making a demand like, go and shower, have you showered, to get out of the difficulty that they're experiencing within themselves, which is, I just can't do this, they'll either say, no, I haven't, and get in trouble, or they'll lie and say, yep, done that, and get away with it. And it's not a malicious thing. It's in a sense, it's a self-preservation. I can't cope with all these demands. I have two choices. I'm either honest about it and I get shouted at, or I lie and hopefully I'll get away with it and everything stays calm and my level of demands is not increased. Because being shouted at or being punished increases the demands even further. So often when you have a child that is lying a lot, it may be that they don't feel that their real self is acceptable, so they cannot be honest. Or it may be that they don't think there's any incentive to being honest. Does it actually make their life harder if they're honest? If your child was to say to you, do you know what, I haven't had the shower because I just can't cope, I don't want to do that today, would you say, okay, I understand, and leave it at that? Would you say, right, well, you're going to have your whatever taken away from you until you have that shower? So it's really interesting when we think about what dynamics we might be creating as parents in our reactions to when our children lie. And for example, if someone, even a toddler, if a toddler has drawn all over the walls in marker pen, it was them, and they come up to you and they say, Mama, I'm sorry, I did something really bad. Maybe not a 2-year-old, but like a child that can speak. That was me. Do you shout at them or do you say, thank you for telling me, I appreciate that. However, I do not want you to do this again. And if you do it again, and we think about natural consequences, if you do it again, you won't have access to those pens again. So when we talk about consequences being important in parenting, often what people mean is punishment, and it's an arbitrary punishment. What the child is going to miss the most if I take it away from them, maybe that will punish them, force them into behaving. But with a PDA child or a neurodivergent child, this often doesn't work, whereas natural consequences are a much more appropriate way of going forward. So, for example, if you have drawn all over the furniture or the walls with marker pen, or even if you've accidentally done it through not using appropriate protection, like putting paper down before you use a marker pen, it's gone on the furniture maybe, then you won't be able to do this on your own again. So you have to do it with supervision, and that means you have to do it when I'm available. And if I'm not available, then you don't get to use these pens. Or it might just be, you're not going to use these pens till you're older. And it depends, for example, on the level of safety. So if you have the time and the energy to manage and supervise, then you can do it that way. But if you don't, it is within your right as a parent to say, I just don't have the energy, I'm really sorry. This is going to become a rare activity that we don't get to do very often. And obviously this is a kind of a parent-child dynamic, but this can extend even to our partners. So if you say to your partner, did you remember to get the milk? They didn't remember to get the milk and you yell at them. It creates an environment where it's less safe for them to be honest. It's less safe for them to be open about their failings and their mistakes. And what we really want to be doing is creating an environment where it's okay to make mistakes, because it is through making mistakes that we learn to grow, that we learn to get better. And if we don't have the safety to make mistakes in our relationships, we're never going to change and we're never going to grow, at least not with that person. Just some food for thought. Do let me know if you want to know more about this, and please do subscribe if you find my videos interesting, or share them with people that you think might benefit. Take care, have a great week.